Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's Excel VBA video, we are going to discuss that how can we create or perform cell referencing using VBA macros in Microsoft Excel. Now, what is cell referencing and what does it do? We have already covered previously in our Microsoft Excel video, so I'm not going to reiterate it. But in this video, what I'm going to show you is instead of using the Microsoft Excel, how can we use the VBA code or the developer tab for using that cell referencing, and how does it works? So that is our topic for today's video, and let's start with it. So first of all, what you got to do is make sure that you are in Excel. Then you got to open the VBA. For this, as we have already discussed, there are two possibilities. Either you can go to the developer tab and go to VB, that is Visual Basic, or simply you can use the shortcut which I'm doing right now, which is Alt F11. Now as soon as you do that, you will see that this VBA window has been opened. And let me just minimize my Microsoft Excel as well, like this, so that both of them are visible side by side. Now once you have opened your VBA, what you got to do is go to the insert and insert a new module. Now when we are inserting a new module, this means that we are creating a new macro. So this module 1 is inserted by default. In the properties window, let us change its name to something that is relevant to what we are doing, that is cell underscore reference. Okay, so because this is the thing that we are going to do. Then in the code panes, what we are going to do is first create a sub procedure. So for that, we got to write sub and then the name, which is going to be the name of our macro itself. So cell underscore reference. Then put an opening and closing parenthesis, and as soon as you press enter, VB automatically recognizes that yes, it is a sub procedure, and according to that the VB changes its code, like adding end sub and capitalizing S in the letter sub. Okay, so this was all about syntax, and let us now begin with cell referencing. So right now in our Excel, what we are doing is we are in a cell, active cell is A1. So suppose you want to write something on your current active cell, then how can you do it using the VB code? So here we are. All you got to do is type active cell, then put a dot. When you put a dot, you get a list of all the properties and methods that are associated with this active cell object, and you can use any of these properties if you're not sure that which property must be used. Okay, so I am sure that value property must be used, so just click on value property or just select it and put a tab, then put an equal sign, and here you can provide it with any value. But if it is a string value, it needs to be in double quotes, and if it is not a string value, such as if it is a number, then it need not be in double quotes. Suppose I am providing programming knowledge, and I am just closing this double quotes. So this is what happens when this macro cell reference is started. Whatever the active cell is in the Excel sheet, its value would be changed to programming knowledge. So let us check that. So you gotta just press this play button, and you can see A1 was our active cell and its value has been changed to programming knowledge. Similarly, if you just change this active cell to something else and again press this macro again, you can do that same thing and again. So this is how this thing works. Whatever the active cell is, its value would change. So this was about active cell. Suppose you do not want to work with active cell, but you want to work with something else. Suppose you have a specific cell number and you got to change its value. So how can you do with that? How can you go with it? Okay, so for that purpose, just press enter in your VB. So we are going to write another line of code. First of all, you got to make in mind that what is the address of the cell in which you want to change the value. Suppose over here I have taken my desired address as F6. So F6 is the cell in which I want to add some content. Okay, so for that what you got to do is use the square brackets. These square brackets are just present beside the P key on your keyboard. So just press this opening square bracket and write the address of the cell. F6 was our address. Then close this square bracket, put a dot and write value, then put equals, and then again write like the previous one, you got to provide it with a value, which could be string or a number or anything else. So I'm just providing a string value, like it is a YouTube channel. So YouTube channel, and then you can just close this double quotes. So this is what we have got. And now let us change our active cell to something else, say C18. And now if we just put a run, then C18 has got programming knowledge, and our desired cell, that was F6, has got YouTube channel. Similarly, if we just change our active cell to something else, say J18, and now we run it, then only one change occurs, that is we have got this programming knowledge over here, but this YouTube channel is still over there because it's the same thing. Although the change has occurred, but we cannot see it. So that's how it occurs. There is another thing in VB, there is a line by line execution of the code. Means whenever we call this cell reference, or whenever we just put this run key, then what happens is first this line is executed. When its execution is complete, then only this line is executed. Okay, so what is the benefit of this? Suppose we have written this active cell dot values programming knowledge. If we just copy this line and paste it over here, so what will happen is, first of all, the active cell value will change to programming knowledge, and say secondly we provide it with some number. Say 300 is what we have provided. Okay, so if we run it now, what will happen is whatever our active cell will be will contain the value as 300. So let's run it. Click on run. And what happens is we get directly 300 as the value, and we cannot see programming knowledge written anywhere. So what if you want to see it? How can you go with it? So for that, what do we need to do is go to this view, and actually there must be some debug window over here. Okay, or you can just what you can do is just go to this debug menu, and there is this thing written as step into, which has got a shortcut as F8. So if you use this shortcut F8 instead of F5 for running this macro, then what will happen is you can see this step-by-step execution of the code written in Visual Basic. So if you want to try it, just click on step into. So this is this yellow line which shows that what line currently we are on, and if you just press F8, this means that the previous line has just executed, and now VB is preparing to execute this particular line. Okay, so our active cell is F15, and we are going to see the changes. Now active cell dot value is programming knowledge. This is our line. If we just press F8, then you can see in the cell F15, which was our active cell, its value has changed to programming knowledge. Means that first line has been executed completely. Now what VB is preparing itself to execute the second line of code, which is the value of the active cell will now change to 300. Now if we press F8, what will happen is the value of this cell, active cell, would change to 300. So these two lines have executed, and the third line is preparing for execution, which is F6 dot value is YouTube channel. So if we just press F8 once again, then what happens is we actually cannot see it because there is already the same value, which is YouTube channel. But actually now this this line is executed, and the end subline is the last line. Now if we press F8, then its running has been complete. Now it has been completely executed this macro. So this is how the step-by-step execution of a Visual Basic code works, and if you want to see it, you can simply use the step into function. Now this is hint given to you by Microsoft Excel itself. How can you see it? This is the code, and if you just press this run button when there are like overlining codes, then you have got this kind of menu where you have get this step into function. If you use it, then also this step into works. So that was all about today's video. In the next video also we are going to continue our discussion with the cell referencing, because there are many more things that needs to be covered. So I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.